Yo dudes, welcome to Dude Feud by Verdicks. Today we're going to dive into the dispute between Average Joe's Gym and Globo Gym, both which appeared in the 2004 comedy Dodgeball, a true underdog story. Joe and I are going to try to convince you that Globo Gym is the place to be. Denny and Nick, they're going to argue that Average Joe's is the place for you. We will present some opening statements, then do a general discussion, and then fall into closing arguments. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Denny and Nick. Listen to both sides of the argument and leave your verdict in the comments down below. Team Chug, take it away.
Thank you, B-Man. Ladies and gentlemen of the well-hung jury, thank you for taking the time to hear our case. Let me start off by welcoming you to Generica. That's right, Generica, where America is categorized by the ubiquitous Walmart, TGI Fridays, Applebee's, Chili's, Chipotle, Best Buy, Target, Olive Garden, McDonald's, Costco, Home Depot, KFC, Starbucks, and of course, big box gyms like our friend here at Globo Gym.
Sounds awesome.
Gyms like Globo Gym tout membership numbers upwards of 20,000 individuals. Like it's a good thing. A business model based on the hope that you forget you actually have a membership? No thanks. A gym filled with wannabe chads who start fights wearing white leather and finish them by sending in daddy's lawyers after they get their ass beat? Count me out. How about a gym whose membership contract is more complex than your mortgage? No way. How about a gym whose refreshment offerings consist of protein paste, carb laxatives, or suffocated kumquats? Yummy. White Goodman is the type of person that would leverage his money and power to deem his business as essential in the middle of a global pandemic and laugh as the same types of businesses around him crashed and burned. His evil machinations have no limits to the point that in order to be successful, he doesn't even allow the scales in the woman's locker room to accurately reflect weight. It's no wonder a person with so little integrity had to resort to spying and hiring ringers to stay competitive in a dodgeball tournament. White is so unoriginal, he couldn't even think of unique nicknames for the members of his team. Blade, Laser, and Blazer? Have fun squatting with those dudes. Let us also not forget that White spends his time alone in personal reflection by reading the dictionary and smearing pepperoni pizza all over his hog. Am I the only one that didn't notice any hand sanitizer or cleaning tools during our tour through Globo Gym? Who's the lucky guy that gets the bench press when White's done with his sets? It's gross. Average Joe's is none of these things. Average Joe's is a brotherhood, a tribe, a family. It's a safe space to be who you want to be, free of judgment. Bankers, data analysts, cheerleaders, and even pirates call Average Joe's home. It's the gym for every man or woman who is just struggling to survive and figuring out this little thing called life every day. At Average Joe's, there's no pressure to perform. We have enough of that at work every day in our lives. Who wants that in their gym? Pop in, shoot the shit, do your thing. No one at Average Joe's is going to ask you to spot them while they unsuccessfully attempt to lift 100-pound more than they actually can. No one's going to ask you how many sets you have left or if they can work in. Hell, no one will even talk to you if you're just looking for some peace and quiet as you work up a little sweat. So if surrounding yourself with a bunch of narcissists who support hedge funds and enjoy stripping down to take selfies in front of free weight mirror with duck lips, then by all means, declare yourself a communist and support big businesses like Globo Gym. Make sure to give your crotch pump a few extra squeezes and take a few extra seconds framing that locker room selfie. Instagram wants to see the emptiness in your eyes as you literally help White pave paradise and put up a parking lot. A parking garage for Vespas? Please. Now that idea really is as useful as a poopy flavored lollipop. On the other hand, if your natural musk is a combination of bacon and freedom, if you believe in the American dream is founded on the backs of hard work and not through a large sum inheritance, if you like your coffee black, if you consider Taco Bell a delicacy that you happily eat, knowing full well that your butthole is going to hate you 30 minutes later, And if you root for the underdog and believe that David really did beat Goliath, then here at Average Joe's, we salute you and we welcome you to your new gym.
All right. Well, here's our opening statement. Let's just face it, okay, guys? Ugliness and fatness are genetic disorders. No matter how much Average Joe's may appeal to you, you can't dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge your way to physical fitness. You need help and you need resources. Simply put, Globo Gym offers everything you need for full body and mind transformation, while Average Joe's offers nothing but a foreclosed building, dangerous and out-of-date equipment, zero extras, and a man who wields a knife and pretends to be a pirate. You conveniently mentioned women's locker rooms. One, Average Joe's has no women nor locker rooms. You mentioned having lengthy contracts. Those contracts are in place for your safety, pal, and they outline the rules and regulations of a fitness center. According to a Nielsen survey, millennials and Gen X represent the segment of the markets most likely to join a gym. Both groups are savvy and educated consumers. Membership price points are competitive across the board, meaning that it is the suite of offerings and how it tailors to the particular needs of that generation's exercisers that plays more of a role in gym memberships. For consumers, it's less about who the facility is and it's more about what the facility offers. Knowing this, it's important that a fitness facility adapt strategies that speak and cater to the segment of the marketing to which they are appealing. Let's talk about the 7 reasons why people join a gym. Cost, member profile, equipment, extra features, accessibility, cleanliness, and maintenance. During the next portion, open discussion, we plan to present our case for how Globo Gym and its ownership, employees, and even its dodgeball team are superior in each of these facets. Would you like to move to the opening discussion?
Sure.
Yes, I would actually first like to address, you seem to come in pretty hot and heavy at Steve the Pirate. And a little something a lot of you guys don't know is that Steve the Pirate is a former Navy veteran who is suffering from PTSD. And he can't get the help that he needs. The VA is unavailable. Globo Gym does not have anyone that is there that will be willing to help him out and give him the special attention that he needs. He gets that at Average Joe's. They let him be who he needs to be, pretend who he needs to be in order to cope and get by with his everyday life.
So you're saying that they let a homeless, deranged pirate live in their gym,
Ex-veteran,
as a way of helping?
I mean, if you're against veterans,
you're against.
I mean, you could just come out and say it.
Well, had he just used the 30-day free pass that White had offered him, he could have got the mental health training, which is actually offered by Globo Gym just across the street.
And actual physical training that Globo Gym offers that Average Joe's don't offer.
I will also note that it was noted by Kate to Peter LaFleur that he had not collected dues in quite some time, which is why he was going into foreclosure. But he knew it was more important to sacrifice for the greater good to try and keep this gym open by not collecting dues from people that couldn't afford it. Guys like Steve the Pirate.
I would argue that it's less sacrificing for the greater good and more speaking to his character as a lazy deadbeat who doesn't pay his water bill, his electric bill, his phone bill, doesn't return DVDs, and does not invest in the gym or its members.
Yeah, let's talk about the cost, right? So an average gym membership in the United States is $58 a month. Globo Gym falls into a category called luxury multi-location gyms, which cost upwards of $300 a month. We know Globo Gym's average monthly fee is $200, which puts it well under its competition. Given the amenities and the clientele, it's a bargain. Who wouldn't do that for $200? Second, the first 30 days are free. White gives out passes to everyone, even his competitors. You could just try it out and improve your life in 30 days. The third thing, as Joe just mentioned, Average Joe's hasn't collected fees in 13 months. Do you know what that means? When he actually goes to collect those fees, which he inevitably will, there will be penalties and late fees accruing to those members who already don't have
Objection. That's based on an assumption. That's an assumption that you don't know that he would collect those dues, that he would assign penalties. Objection. Hearsay. Hearsay.
I think we should
Objection.
touch down on some of the things that Globo Gym isn't there to help anyone. I mean, their motto is, here at Globo Gym, we're better than you, and we know it. They're elitists. And go ahead.
If the average cost is $58, what happens to the people that can't afford the $200? If White Goodman is altruistic and all about the fitness levels of the communities that he decides to build his gyms in, he's basically saying you can afford our gym or you don't get to better your life.
Well, let's talk about that member profile then, right? As I mentioned, first of all, there are no girls at Average Joe's. There are no girl members, okay? And we all know that when a beautiful girl is around, men exercise stronger and faster. You ever been on the treadmill and a hottie comes next to you? You ramp it all the way up to 10 and you show that hottie how fast you can run. The opportunity to meet somebody who is beautiful is priceless, and you can have that at Global Gym. Next, every member there is committed to their own perfection. You said they're not interested in anything. They're interested in their own perfection, regardless of their starting point. These people are concerned with their health, their appearance, their mental health, their tan, their ability to climb rock walls. They want to be the best. Average Joe's clients are misfit losers. You mentioned how nobody will help you with a spot or will be on the machine too long. That's because none of them even know how to use it. There's not one member of the Average Joe's gym who even has biceps, arguably the easiest muscle to create. Again, advantage Globo Gym.
So basically you're saying that your gym is elitist scum, and the folks that can't afford it, the elderly, the people that aren't looking for perfection but are just trying to get their foot in the door and perhaps better their life, that don't want to take cellulite classes or drink carb laxatives, they're basically screwed.
They're paying for things that they don't need. They just need a gym. They need a place to go to feel comfortable, to work on themselves physically and mentally. And Peter LaFleur summed it up perfectly. He said, you're perfect the way that you are. But if you feel like losing a few pounds, getting healthier, making some great friends in the process, then Joe's is the place for you. You don't need all that other stuff.
Except he's arguably the least friendly person in the gym. And not to mention, you mentioned that, like, you said they just need a gym, right, to be comfortable, to lose a couple extra pounds. What are the negatives in having competitively priced plastic surgery on site, a lap pool, tanning, a rock wall, a nutrition bar, motivational videos playing all day, every day, a massage center, a pro level sports team, which you can join, Dodgeball?
Do you think all those things are free and included in the membership?
Definitely, most definitely.
Then you've never been to a gym. Who here goes to a gym every day? Those things are not included in the gym.
They are at Global Gym.
No, they aren't. You guys are full of poop.
They offer one-on-one personal training.
No. Okay,
absolutely.
Then his gym goes under. Then you guys are not financially.
It's worth
no way.
You want to talk about gyms going under? You haven't collected membership fees in 13 months. You make no money.
There is no way that you charge $200 and everyone in there has the option to get a free massage at the end. You'd need 10,000 massage therapists and 10,000 massage tables because everyone is going to get a free massage when they're done.
Bro, watch the movie. There is one trainer per every client in the building. There's a massage therapist available.
Then that price structure is wrong. Where did you get your information from? At what part in the movie did they talk about the price structure?
Laser, Blazer, Taser. These are personal trainers.
Let's ask a question here. Let's ask a question real quick. You talked about safety, you talked about locker rooms, and you talked about old equipment. Can you explain to me the current rise of CrossFit as the premier gyms across the country when those gyms, A, don't have locker rooms, B, don't have air conditioning, C, are mostly located in industrial parks where you just roll up a garage door, you have old equipment and no safety, and they are the premier gyms in the country right now.
Sure.
That are turning out some of the highest caliber athletes available.
Yeah, two things. One, those cost twice as much as what Global Gym costs.
Incorrect.
Oh,
incorrect.
And they're cleaner than Average Joe's gym. You talked about not seeing hand sanitizer when you walk through Global Gym. You talked about not seeing hand sanitizer when you walk through Global Gym.
Have you been in one?
If tetanus was the worst thing I got when I worked out at Average Joe's, I'd consider myself extremely lucky.
Not to mention,
how many people on the call have done CrossFit?
I have done CrossFit.
Yeah?
Yes.
And what's the pricing structure at the CrossFit gym?
$380.
Well, that's because you live in the dumbest place on earth where your taxes are $8 bajillion too.
We can't all live in rural America.
Objection. Please stay on point. First of all, Average Joe's is not a CrossFit gym. It's barely a fitness center. What are you?
But you're going to criticize them for their setup. Look,
Yes.
you know what is
Their lack of equipment.
What is
and
the
their outdated
most,
equipment.
What is the most famous gym in the country? If you are any serious weightlifter or bodybuilder, what is the most famous gym in the country?
Venice Beach.
Incorrect.
Gold's Gym.
Incorrect.
Gold's Gym.
Incorrect.
What?
Globo Gym.
West Side Barbell. West Side Barbell is the most famous heavy weightlifting and exercise and bodybuilding gym in the country. And if you look at that gym, it is exactly like Average Joe's, because the people that really want to get in there and really want to do something don't want distractions.
You're talking about different clientele. You're talking about bodybuilders. We're talking about.
I'm just talking about people that want to go in and work out.
You're going to
So
tell.
you're saying the Average Joe's is the same as the most famous gym in the country?
It's on par
Or
with the
CrossFit
equipment
is
level,
our argument.
and in terms of structure, yes.
Then why does it have no
Provided-
members?
Providing what
It
you
has
need.
members. It just doesn't charge them.
It only has 7 members.
So you're saying it's a free membership to the best gym in the nation.
Right.
All right. Well,
It's not free.
well,
He
I
just
mean-
chose not to collect. He just chose not to collect money.
Well, let me
This
tell you a little bit more about our equipment. We have every piece of equipment you can think of. The minute it's made off the assembly line, it's in our fitness center. It's all new, it's maintained, it's disinfected, it's high tech. We have those basics like barbells and dumbbells and your pull-up bar. Hell, we even have an old man who will sit on your feet while you do sit-ups, okay? Our machines are internet ready, they do data tracking, they have individualized fitness plans. Average Joe's has broken, unsafe equipment. We saw Justin Long get tangled up in it in the first scene of the movie. Again, Advantage Globo Gym here.
How can you know that it's not unsafe when your owner admits in the movie to modifying equipment versus the way it's intended to be used?
What equipment? Scales?
Yes.
Scales aren't workout equipment.
Scales are equipment. He's modifying equipment.
He's modifying it to motivate you.
Yeah, to your benefit.
Oh, so he's
Yes.
lying to clientele. So you prefer an owner who lies to clientele.
Well, if we're going to go down that road, I mean, it's 50-50. Peter LaFleur is lying to his guys all of the time.
About?
He lied to them about when he disappeared. He lied to them about which team he bet against. He lied to them about the fact that they could go out and meet girls and that they could potentially raise money for this. He lies all the time. He's a class A liar.
Think about
Does
what
it
he did
affect
here.
their workout?
They don't even work out. They stand around and look at each other.
Look,
Like
look,
90% of all gyms. There's a whole bunch of dudes who just stand around and look at
Not
each other.
Globo Gym.
Not Globo Gym. There was nobody standing around in
So
Globo.
what happens to the guy that just wants to go and do that?
That guy can go hang out in his garage.
So basically everything that we're talking about right now, and we've talked about in the past, where essential businesses like Target and Costco and stuff like that, all these big ones are open, and screw the little guy, right? Screw the little guy. I mean, that's what you guys should just come out and say it.
It
Right?
has
Like
nothing to do
you don't
with-
support local business. You're all about big box. You don't want people in the community to have a chance for employment. You don't want veterans to have a chance to have a place to work out. You don't want any sort of variation in the community, right? What's next, guys? Do you guys not want any local restaurants, right? Because based on your guys' thinking, like Pizza Hut is going to have the newest pizza makers, and Tim's Pizza is going to have an old pizza maker, and therefore Pizza Hut is better, and Tim should just go under.
I'll have you know the carb laxatives and the resuscitated kumquat came from locally sourced restaurants in the
Nick,
area. He
Nick, they
invests
sound
in the
like-
community.
They sound like the same type of people that don't want us to be able to buy GameStop shares.
Yeah.
I mean, really, when you think about it, this is a classic.
Raise your hand if you're invested in GameStop shares.
And I'm surprised that you would be invested in GameStop and be saying, "Damn the man, we got to change the system. We got to bring down the big guys."
Let's manipulate the market.
And you run right out to Globo Gym to work out because.
But again, you call us
Dennis.
you call us the big guys. We're cheaper than the gym Nick mentioned. We're cheaper than CrossFit.
You're not cheaper than my
literally-
gym.
Westfield Gym.
You're not cheaper than West Side Barbell.
How much is West Side Barbell?
It's an invitation only. You have to get invited to go to that.
Oh, so it's super hyper exclusive. Here's what you're saying.
I
We
mean,
don't have those
if
kinds
you're
of
elite.
restrictions at Globo Gym. You can
I'm
come
not-
and
well,
anybody can come,
Here's the
including
thing:
your veterans.
we're not
Even-
talking about
even-
we're not talking
even
about
the,
average or West Side.
The mongrel, what did Dwight call them? The mongrel race that comprises your membership. That's literally how he summarized and characterized everyone who went to Average Joe's and everyone in that community.
I feel like I'm having a conversation with Vlad from Robin Hood right now. Like,
yeah, well,
you guys are like,
you have turned to personal attacks when we're talking facts about how our gym is better. You keep changing the argument, and I'm not going to play that game. I'm just going to stick to my script here and tell you that in addition to the motivational videos and the dodgeball team, we have areas to relax and plug in. We have social congregation points in a variety of classes. Average Joe's offers a car wash every now and then, and sometimes a chance to play dodgeball. Let's talk a little bit about employment and the community. Average Joe's has one employee. That's it. So what are you talking about? Support the big guy, support the big guy. Our big guy employs over 300 employees. We have locations around the globe. We have a new center opening in Mexico City. We have Fran, who operates the Romanovia Globo Gym. It's not even talk about job creation. We employ massage therapists, nutritionists, swim coaches, fitness coaches. I mean, top to bottom.
Globo Gym's never been delinquent on its taxes, yet Average Joe's has mortgaged its gym twice and is delinquent on both.
Do you pay them above minimum wage and offer them health care?
Yes.
no,
Absolutely.
no,
No way.
no, because if you look at the statistics on big box gyms, the average, and I read this, the average physical training segment is, say, it's $75. That trainer gets 20 of it, and the big box gym gets the rest.
Well, we're not average.
And we're
Sorry
not
to break it to you.
gym. We are a premier elite fitness center.
That is cheaper than CrossFit. I want to keep mentioning that.
Makes you a big box gym.
It's all good. It's all good. As the guy that goes to the gym 6 days a week, every single day, and has done so for the past 5 years, maybe my opinion doesn't count. Maybe I don't know what
You go to an elite gym. What can I say?
Maybe I've belonged to.
You're advocating for the little guy, but you go to an invitation only gym.
I don't go to an invitation only gym.
West Side.
Let's talk about this.
I don't go to West Side.
Oh, I thought you said you went to West Side.
No, I belonged to 9 gyms my entire life. I've belonged to high-end fitness clubs where all that junk is included and they had spas and steam rooms and all that stuff in. I've belonged to hospitals. I've belonged to ones where the guys sling tires and all that sort of stuff. And I can tell you this, at the end of the day, the only thing you need to be successful, people like Goggins and people like Jocko Willink will tell you, is you. At the end of the day, the only person that can motivate you is you. It's not an internet-fueled treadmill. It's not the cellulite class. It's not a scale that doesn't accurately reflect it. It's not the, hey, I can't wait to down that fucking carb laxative at the end of this workout. The only person that's going to make you better is you. And
I can't agree more.
At Average Joe's, we embrace that. And at Globo Gym, it's a facade and it's a business. They're not in the business of people getting better. They're in the business to make money. So if you want to get better and you want to be part of a family and you want to be part of a tribe and you want to fit in, then you join Average Joe's gyms. And if you want to be a communist, you belong to Globo.
I don't think they're in it to make money. If you look at White Goodman's development of Globo Gym, he pulled himself up from his bootstraps. His promotional video that he sent shows you in 1987. Regardless of whether, what did he choose to spend that inheritance on? Food, cruises? No, he chose to get himself in shape. He was over 600 pounds in 1987. He was down and out. He had no life. He admitted himself. His life was miserable, and he turned it around. He took that inheritance, and he made something of it. He built an institution from the ground up, by the way.
We'll get to that.
To empower and better people and give them the means to better themselves.
That's an interesting point of view. I think Dennis will address that.
Of all the gyms that you've ever been to, has one ever been too dirty for you?
No.
Have you ever been disappointed when a piece of equipment wasn't maintained or wasn't functioning correctly, a piece that you wanted to use?
No.
You consider yourself lucky, my friend.
Mm-hmm. Clearly, you've never been to Average Joe's.
You know, maintenance and cleanliness, we clearly win here. We're willing to hear more of your personal attacks, but we could easily go on to the next step.
I won't argue that Flash isn't for everyone. I'm not here to say you should go to Globo Gym because it's flashy and because of all the services. But at the end of the day, if you're looking for an environment to work out in, and if you're looking for equipment that is well maintained, that is clean, that is sanitary, and your only other choice is Average Joe's Gym, you got to pick Globo Gym. I'm sorry.
Absolutely. The fitness training itself is worth it. The amenities are worth it. The multi-use locations around the globe are worth it. For people who travel, being able to go to your own home gym is a very nice feature. There's only one Average Joe's, and it's less than average.
I guess I just have a personal problem supporting somebody as diabolical as White and as weird as a dude that is so carb starved that he has to smear pepperoni all over his wiener. Like, I just think that's a little weird. I don't, that's just the type of person I am. I won't support an owner that does that.
Yeah,
I will admit that
maybe you guys will. Maybe you guys will. Maybe that's your thing.
I will admit that White
that's what you guys
Goodman.
do in your free time.
Yeah,
I will admit that White Goodman is unconventional, but if you're going to call him diabolical, Peter LaFleur is the guy who his employees admitted called the gym a tax shelter. He invests $0 in his gym. He constantly is telling his people to give up. He has no care in the world about his gym, about its members, about the equipment, or about people's actual physical fitness. He wants to be friends with everybody, which is great. He's a nice guy, but he's actually, I would wager, more diabolical than White Goodman. White Goodman's a weird dude. I agree with you. He is a whack job, but he is not diabolical. Peter LaFleur sent strippers to his 1-year anniversary of Globo Gym. Peter LaFleur constantly antagonizes White Goodman, the weirdo. Admittedly, White Goodman is a weird dude, but he doesn't antagonize Peter LaFleur.
White Goodman not only threatened to purchase his building and bulldoze it and piss over the remains of the building, he put a hidden camera inside of Average Joe's gym. What's that say about the type of person he is? And what's that say about what he's doing inside of his own gym? If he's stooping to that sort of level to where he's spying on strangers in a failing gym, imagine the level of, deception and spying and, just creepiness going on within his own walls. And that's happening in every gym, every facility around the world. He's just spying on people. What's he doing with those videos?
All right. Well,
I think he's into that.
Let's talk about integrity then. So let's talk about a little bit about the tournament. Fucking Chuck Norris. Average Joe's violated multiple rules during the tournament and including the final. According to the official dodgeball rules, the NDL regulations of play, and the International Dodgeball Association, dodgeball's official rules, there were 2 key rules that were broken. Each team must have 2 female players. Kate was the only female player on Average Joe's. She was neither a member of the gym nor an employee of the gym. So she's in violation there. And they didn't have any other females.
Who was the second female on Globo?
I'm getting there.
Oh.
Globo Gym had both Fran Stankovic and Michelle Jones, a transgender personal trainer, consigliere to White Goodman. Michelle Jones was the second female member, making Globo Gym in line with the rules.
Hey, Kate was a member. She just wasn't a paying member, much like all of the others.
So anyone who shows up is a member.
Yeah, if you show up and you spend time in the gym, communicating, working out, they worked out together there as a team, right?
Well, let's play that full circle.
So technically she was working out in the gym. That makes her a member.
Well, here you go. That proves, one, that there's no security to get into and out of the gym, which we all know is important because we don't want anyone just coming in and using the equipment. And 2, we don't want anybody coming in to use the equipment. There's a reason that these places have memberships. It's to keep the rest of us who don't like to exercise out. Number 2 of the broken rules. There are no gloves allowed in dodgeball. Milton, aka Gordon in this movie, wears gloves the entire time. The guy who knows the most about the rules is the one who breaks them. And I'll give you this last one.
Doesn't White wear gloves the whole time?
Patches O'Houlihan was an illegal coach. He had previously been expelled from the dodgeball tournament for drug use and illegal betting, which we see LaFleur do in the same vein. What do you got about the rules? What do you got about the rules there, fellas?
That doesn't sway my opinion on which gym I would join at all.
So you would continue to go with the gym that doesn't have clean facilities. It's not maintained. It only employs one person who sometimes shows up. The electricity doesn't run. The water is sometimes shut off. Whoever wants to can come in off the street. They cheat, they lie, they steal. They got a guy who's pretending to be a pirate. They have an illegal coach.
The veteran.
This is the place where you would like to invest your time and energy in perfecting your body.
It's the American story. It is a snapshot of America. It's a little guy. This is exactly what, this is what we are about.
I could look at you with a straight face and tell you yes. Like, yes. Knowing what I know about White Goodman.
You're hungry, you're poor. We're the melting pot. We bring this all together. This is where people come to be. You need some sense of community. It may not fit into your social norms or your pretty little, box. It doesn't have a shiny ribbon on it, but this is the real America. This is Main Street, and this is what we are dealing with.
Why are you assuming that our gym doesn't have culture? We clearly have culture. We're a culture of winners. We are a culture of people who were at their lowest point, who were at 750 pounds at one point in their life and worked their ass literally off. That is a culture. It's a culture of winning.
We are better than you, and we know it. It's such an elitist attitude that gets us nowhere in life.
Until you're one of them.
And then bringing in ringers into a competition. He had to search all across Eastern Europe to bring in the deadliest woman on earth with the dodgeball.
He did.
Average Joe's entered the contest without bringing in. Average Joe's went into this contest without having hired help, without bringing in ringers or, professional players. They played with what they had, with the best of what they had that they could get together.
Look, doing sports in high school, there were several teams in our divisions that did that had recruits, right? LaSalle Swimming, Malvern Prep. It wasn't even like you hated them with a passion if you were against them. Not because they were winners, but because they just had this elitist attitude that was just so shitty. Like they had that attitude. Oh, we're better than you and we know it. You know what 99.999% of them went on and did with their athletic career? Zilch. Nothing. They were the best at what they did in their small little world in high school that we went to, and they walked around like they were God's gift to the earth. And then when high school was over and reality stepped in, none of them got Division I scholarships. None of them went to the Olympics like mommy and daddy said they would. None of them went to the NBA or the NFL or the NHL, right? But all along, mommy and daddy were telling them that they're the greatest, they're the best, they're this, they're that.
What are you talking about?
I don't.
Your Honor, please strike Nick's glory day from the record. That has nothing to do with Globo Gym.
That's how Globo Gym operates. I don't want to be a part of a team that goes around and says that we're better than you and we know it. I've lived and competed against people like that, and I don't want to join a gym where I have to go and hear that shit every single day. So that's why I wouldn't join Globo Gym.
Yeah, it'd probably be terrible to be surrounded by knowledgeable experts, good equipment. Great.
Knowledgeable. You're talking about a guy who says, no, that literally happened. I did grab a bull by the horns. Get the fuck out of here.
Can you prove that he did not, in fact, grab the bull by the horns?
There was a painting.
He also read a book that says there's cultures that all they eat is each other's vomit. I mean, come on. The guy's so insecure he has to have a crotch pump. Is that the dude you want to hang out with that guy? You gonna hang out with that guy after work? You gonna do some squats with that dude?
First of all, who among us has never puffed up their crotch in the right situation?
Like, what are you talking about?
You guys have never been walking around the house and been like, hey, it's looking good down there.
But not where I'm like, what the hell? I don't want to be in a gym full of people that are so insecure that they have to have crotch pumps.
Your guys can't even have crotch pumps because they don't have crotches.
Dude, they lift in leather. That's how you know they're not doing any form of exercise over there. No one lifts in leather. They wear leather at the gym. You can't lift in leather.
It's all facade.
It's all bullshit.
Yeah, I guess uniforms are a negative.
Not only not uniforms, they lift in leather.
Do you fellas have any
You
other?
ever sweat in leather?
No, I've never sweated.
There's a reason you don't wear it when you work out. That's how dumb these idiots are.
All right.
But I mean, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I think the crowd will give us the verdict down below. Hopefully that you've made a passionate plea. Do you have any other points you'd like to address in the opening or in the open discussion point, or should we go to closing comments?
Close.
I'm ready for closing.
All right. Well, you may go ahead and close. And Joe, if you don't mind, I'll do our closing after
Go
there.
for it.
All right. Perfect.
All right. Gentlemen of the well-hung jury, I won't take up much of your time with my closing arguments. I would, however, like to start by addressing White Goodman himself. Or should I say, Tony. That's right. I'm talking to you, Tony Perkis. The owner and operator of Camp Hope, who you might have been able to bully some insecure adolescent teens into believing your shtick and putting myths about building abdominal muscles to bed. But let me put another myth to bed for you. Heck, I'll even do this one blindfolded.
So many myths about the abdominal muscles.
After having been accused of unspeakable acts of child abuse in the early 1990s, you went into hiding to try to get away from the stink of your heinous actions. After some time had passed, it became clear that people were not soon ready to forgive and forget. So what did you do? You changed your name, you grew a sick stash, and then you reemerged, trying to avoid reliving the humiliation of being outsmarted by some fat teenage boys and your subsequent mental breakdown. But the problem was, you couldn't get away from the hatred of fat people, including your former self, or junk food for that matter. Jerking off with pizza slices and bulldozing gyms because they don't fit the Perkis way, because your obsession was ultimately your downfall. Kate did, in fact, catch the scent of a lesser stag, you, and that's why she chose Peter and the crew over at Average Joe's. That's all I have. Rest my case.
Thanks for that nonsense. Even if that was true, it only plays into the fact that the subtitle of this film is a true underdog story. And if a man was that broken and down and out and abused by teenagers and gained weight and became bedridden and was at least 750 pounds, it's a true underdog story to be where he is today. White Goodman was immobile. He was bedridden. He did weigh 750 pounds, but he dug deep. He built a global business from scratch while simultaneously fine-tuning himself. He did the impossible. And if you join our gym, so can you. You can join a community of winners. You can turn the Frankenstein you see in the mirror into a Frankenfine. Peter was behind on his house and his gym. Average Joe's was run down. It was dangerous. It was unprofessional. There were no extras, no members, no girls, no trainers, no other locations, no income. I highly doubt they would even pass a health inspection and be allowed to have people in the building. No one should join that gym and no one should want to. Globo Gym was so successful, in fact, and such a better gym that Peter LaFleur himself invested $5 million in Globo Gym. That's how much better Globo Gym is than Average Joe's. Peter LaFleur didn't even believe in it. Ladies and gentlemen, we rest our case. Please leave your verdict down below. Thank you for watching this Dude Feud. Anybody else have any comments?
I would just point out that both Camp Hope and Globo Gym were bought off of Tony's inheritance or White's inheritance.
And I would also point out that at the end of the movie, despite being so positive and so great and living this great lifestyle, he ends the movie at 8,000 pounds.
It would be impossible to gain that much weight that quickly. I've tried.
And fuck Chuck Norris.
Anyway, thanks for watching our video. We hope you enjoyed the debate. I know we certainly did, and we're going to have a lot to talk about afterwards, some friendships to patch up. Don't forget to leave your verdict in the comments down below, like and share this video, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and visit our website at verdicks.com. Until next time, shields up.